Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of the Action Speaks Louder podcast. My name is Matthias. I'm from Inspire Books, and my guest today is Gaelle. Gaelle moved from France to Japan a long time ago and started her own business in the unique field of sophrology. In this episode, we talk about her moving abroad, starting a business in a foreign country, and the stigma about mental health that still exists. If you'd like to learn more about Gail's business and moving abroad, she shared her story in the first edition of the Action Speaks Louder book that is available on Amazon, on Barnes Nobles, Thalia, and every bookstore you can imagine. So anyway, let's start with the episode, and I hope you will enjoy listening. What held you back when you started out?
It's a very important point because it's very hard to make the decision. For me, it took me so long because I started to study sophrology more than 10 years, 13 years before I even started working in sophrology. I think it was really like I wanted to know more about it, but when I look back, I think it was always at the back of my mind somewhere. One day I want this to be the field I work in, but somehow it wasn't yet a really concrete idea. And then I did my sophrology diploma with this institute in France. And after you do that, they send you an email with pamphlets afterwards. They said, oh, because you did a course with us, you can do another one for half price.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, I could do something else. I love to study.
Yeah.
And then I saw coaching. And then, when you study coaching, you think, it's really more work oriented, obviously. But then it was just at the beginning, like coaching was becoming popular, and I also thought I would like to know more. So I studied coaching, and then in the first homework I had to write, it was called self-coaching. So we had to do this kind of introspection work and everything. And I don't even remember what I wrote, but then one of my teachers who corrected the homework, she wrote in the margin, like, maybe some NLP could help. And I was like, what's NLP? And then I'm Googling like NLP, and I'm reading all those articles online, and then I'm ordering the books. And then next thing you know, I'm like signed up for NLP comprehensive course in the US. So I have all this, I'm working in a school office, and I have a diploma in sophrology, in coaching, and a certification in NLP, and I'm still in my office work. And well, when you have a family, you have a house loan, kids, it's like, and I had a very nice work environment, nice colleagues, nice boss. It's hard to say I'm throwing it all away and I'm just going to try something new. So this was completely what held me back. And then luckily for me, COVID happened.
Yes, so what's the jump from, like, you had your safe job, you had your safe income, and then doing something completely different. You have studied it, but doing the practice it's two different world, right? How was that for you?
So so during COVID, I don't know if you know, in Japan, what Japan did was close the border. So for 2 years, nobody could enter from the outside. And even us as permanent residents, we could go out, but if we went out, we could not come back.
All right.
So everybody was stuck. And then I was working in an international school, so obviously international students. First year, nothing happened because the world just was on pause, so nothing changed. And then second year, everybody who had been supposed to leave left to go, all the expats went somewhere else. And then nobody could come in. So the school lost a lot of students. And then I remember sitting in the office with the director and my colleague and like trying to figure out how to change the schedule so we can keep all the staff. And then I was like, okay, no, this is, don't count me. Don't count me into stuff. It's my sign. It's my moment. Thank you so much. Thank you for trying your best to keep me here, but it's time to go. And so I jumped. This was really so I'm really grateful to COVID for that. Because it was a push I needed, actually. I don't know. I hope, I want to think I would have done it without, but I'm not sure,
You're
honestly.
not sure. So what, then you went to do your sophrology and the coaching, and it was still doing the COVID, right? When you
Yes,
started.
yes, yes.
So everything was online.
Everything. So when I started first, I joined. So there's this group of French women in Tokyo,
Hmm.
who helps French women who want to start a business. So I joined this. It was already not online anymore, but we had to meet in big rooms with open windows and everybody
Yeah.
wearing masks. So
Yes.
I didn't even know the faces of my colleagues for the
All
first six
right.
months.
Yeah.
And this is also one thing. I mean, this is also, I think I could have stopped at any time without this group. And I think it's really important not to be alone. Even, I mean, of course, we all had different projects. I mean, some were artists. There was a yoga teacher.
Mhm.
There was like in company training professional. So it was completely different things, but still being together, having this synergy and like knowing there are people who know your projects, and because there are so many ups and downs.
Mhm.
And I can't imagine facing them by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you think networking would be like an absolute key ingredient when you want to start your business?
Yes, completely, completely. And I'm the type of people who is like, let me do by myself. I know better. I can do
Mm.
it. So if I had this realization, like really, it's so much better to do it with other people, to be surrounded by others to help and to support, because it's so many ups and downs, and so many times you find yourself thinking, of, what was I thinking? Like, who do I think I am doing this? I'm
Yes.
never gonna make it.
Yes, it's a lot of ego involved in the beginning. I feel like when you start, you feel like, oh, this is my idea, I can do it, but you can only get so far on your own.
Exactly.
And when you have people around that, I feel like for me, starting my business, and I talk to my partner who's starting her business, and I know other people through my work now, I'm networking. It's like you get in an energy as well, where you feel like, oh my God, yeah, I can overcome, because you have a lot of setbacks and a lot of risk and a lot of what nobody sees when you're starting your business is what's going on in your head. And it's a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, because you don't have the safety anymore. You're on your own, basically.
Exactly, exactly. But also the safety is illusionary. I mean, when you see like, I mean, in 2009, there were people working for Lehman Brothers who thought, their life was planned out.
Yeah.
And then there was a crash. And then
Mm.
there were other people who were in very good positions. And then COVID happened and so many companies collapsed. So I think it's also important to know like the security is never really here anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's
let's take
true.
risks.
That's true. So that's why we chose to pave our own way.
Exactly.
That comes to actually already the second question is the fear of putting yourself out there in the public eye. Because when you want to start your own business, and this is something I'm still learning, and I want to do this time more year to get actually my face in the camera, but it's still like, oh God, for me, I'm still working out a plan. I don't think I'm shy in front of the camera, but I need to have my plan sorted out before I actually feel like it makes sense what I'm doing in front of the camera.
Right, right.
But yeah, you said, what was your fear of putting yourself out there in the public?
For me, this was maybe the hardest part. I had a Facebook account for like 10 years
Yeah,
more than 10 years, 15 years. I had never posted one picture of me, even
yeah,
though it was only my friends seeing it, never one.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like my luxury entrepreneurs I was working with, they're all like, okay,
Hmm.
you need to make a website and you need to have your picture on it and you need to have your story on it. And like, it's really important. And here I am, like, I'm the most secretive person I know, and I'm pouring
Yeah,
out my whole story of how I came to study sophrology. It's really personal story, and I'm
yeah.
putting out pictures. And I like the night before publishing my website, I almost had a panic attack. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. I'm
Yeah.
texting them. I'm like, I can't put my picture. I was like, go, you'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. But then did you go from posting pictures to actually doing like live videos of you talking? Or
Never.
You've never done it.
I had one podcast in the past, and I did a
Hmm.
YouTube video for a friend who's a YouTuber
Yeah.
recently, but I've never. No, I still.
Mm.
So this is my as well. Like I don't mind posting a picture. Even when you look at my Instagram, it's not going on much because I'm not online every day, and I found like I want to take my time, like because I'm behind the scene. I'm still working now on a new edition of Action Speaks Louder, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I don't post every day. And now I feel like with getting people, I've get a lot of people contacting me about the new book, but also I want to fill all the spots, so I need to get out there to get people in. And it's like it's more people find it more easier. I think when you have your face out, you're the face, and you can talk about it. And this is for me still like, oh God, what am I doing there? Finding a plan and looking at myself in the camera and talking to an imaginary crowd, basically. It's tough.
It's
It is.
difficult.
It is.
So I think once you've done it once, it might be get easier over time, but you have to over because I'm more of an introvert as well. That's why I love writing books because I can be on my own. But yeah, getting out there is something. Is this something you kind of plan for doing in the future with your business?
Maybe I've been
Mm.
thinking about it. I'm a big Mel Robbins fan. I don't know if you know
Yeah,
Mel Robbins. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she talks a lot about this, about, let people like just, she talks actually about social media, and she like just post your stuff. And then if people don't like it, and if they
Mm.
unfriend you, let them do it. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. But
yes.
yeah.
I mean, it would be good even when I remember we got in touch and I read the word sophrology. It's like I have never heard this word before in my life. I have no idea what it is. Maybe it's a language barrier because English isn't my first language. So it might be even good idea to get out there and just inform people what is that? Like, get the word out. What is it? What are you doing? Because it sounds interesting.
Very
Yeah, it
interesting.
is. It is. It's really popular in France, but I think
Mm.
Switzerland also,
Yeah.
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so common.
Is it common in Japan?
No,
Ah, so
I
you're
know
kind of
only.
unique.
Well, it's three of us,
Ah, see.
and we're all French.
But that's cool. That's how was it? Because you started your business in Japan. It's a different country because you're from France. How was it to start actually in a different culture? I mean, you already worked and lived, so you got to know the culture and everything. But how was it actually starting a business as, let's say, a foreign person in the country?
Well, since I'm working by myself, like I don't have employees, it was really easy.
Mm.
Actually, I think I'm pretty sure it's easier than in France in terms of laws and regulations. So
Yeah.
I just had to register my company. Also, I'm a permanent resident in Japan, so I can do
Mm.
basically any job I want to do. So this
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to register my company, and then I'm working in English and in French, so mainly with foreigners or with
Mm.
Japanese who speak English, because I speak Japanese, but it's just very like I have to go so deeply and so precisely. Like the
Mm.
wording is so important that I
Yeah.
don't feel confident yet to do
Ah,
it in
okay.
Japanese.
Okay. Do you do everything online or do you also meet people?
Also mostly in person actually, but for
Mm.
people who don't live in Tokyo, obviously, I can do online, but I prefer in person.
In person.
Yeah, and also in Japan, it's not common like to have speaking therapy. Like they tend to, if the like you go to the
Yeah.
psychiatrist and you get medicine basically.
Oh, okay.
It's not covered by insurance if you have speaking therapy, so it's not
Hmm.
something many Japanese do.
Ah, okay. So it's a bit of an old school culture that, yeah. Because I remember when I grew up in like Eastern Germany, and people would say, "Oh, you go to a psychiatrist. What's wrong with you?" I feel like, well, shouldn't everybody go to a psychologist or something, Because we all have stuff on our mind, and it's always a good advice. But it was always labeled, if you go there, something is wrong with you. You're sick and stuff like that. So, do you think it's still kind of holding back people in Japan with this kind of mindset?
Well, in Japan, and not only because one thing I'm really happy about is like half of my patients now are men. And I think it's even because there is definitively taboo about anything that about mental health in general, but even more for men. And I have several men who came and they said, "Oh, like it took me time to get the courage to come, and I'm so I was so nervous." And I always tell people, if you had a broken limb, you wouldn't just be stumbling around and you would go immediately to the doctor. So why stay with some pain inside? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And it doesn't make you weird of having a problem. I mean, everybody has things on their minds. I think it's really important to get the stigma out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're probably doing a great job.
I'm trying.
Yeah, is it? I was wondering, this is not a question we wanted to talk about, but just like, because you talk about like you've got a lot of men now contacting you. How is it with the marketing? How do they contact you? How do they know you? And
So I very old style. I have some flyers in like some like places where international people shop or go to clinics, and then Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So yeah, see,
hey, well,
I'm
that's
terrible, but
interesting.
I'm managing somehow social media.
Yeah.
But my first patient was a man, and I was really surprised because I don't know if you've looked at my website, but it's really, really feminine. It's really pink and
Yeah, I know.
bright, and I was really surprised. I mean, obviously, I'm happy to treat anybody who wants to come, but I was so surprised that a man was the first to contact me. And when he came, he was this very big man, and I was like, oh, what did you see on my website that made him want to come? It was just very interesting.
Yeah, but I think it's I like the idea, and I see it with my partner as well. She's still printing flyers and goes around and distributing her flyers. And a lot of people actually, I think a lot of especially younger people, they try everything just digital, but it's you need to get all sources out everywhere you can. And sometimes people wanna, when they're shopping and they see a little poster or a flyer, it's like,
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. In embassies also, like foreign embassies around Tokyo. So when you have somebody who's getting their passport renewed, we're like, oh, can you take my card?
yeah, absolutely. I think you should not be shy in that, like getting yourself out there in all ways. Right. So let's head to the last question. What was one piece of advice you had when you started?
Okay, and this is a very important one. I think it's there will never be a perfect time to start your business. It will never be perfect. For me, having a business is like having a baby. You wait and you want to be married and you want to have a house, and there's a million stars that need to align for the time to be good. But honestly, there's always something wrong. There's always something happening. It's always wrong because of this, that. So if it's a better time than most, just do it. Like, don't wait for the perfect time. When I was actually when I was just preparing, so still at the Entrepreneurs Club, so preparing to launch my business, I got an offer for a job as a school director in a small international school. And I mean, I had been dreaming of this kind of job for like 10 years. And then suddenly it just came to me, like literally they called me and they're like, oh, we heard about you. Our director is leaving. Would you be interested? I'm like, don't do this to me. And I was so upset. I mean, I really, what should I do? And then I thought, okay, if I do not start my project now, and then I don't get another chance, and it doesn't happen, will I be okay?
Yeah.
And then I thought, no, I won't. So, okay, it might be tough to get another director job in the future if it didn't work out, but no, I'm letting this go, and I'm trying because I can't imagine not trying.
Exactly. Exactly. What would it be if you like a person like who has ideas and wants to start a business and then give it all up? So I want to thank you for taking your time and
Thank you so
talking
much.
to me. Thank you.